Morning, it's just a quick video today just to show adding batteries to an existing Fox ESS 2900 system. So, first things first, excuse me, just getting over a horrible cold, so I might cough a little bit. So this is for if you've already got a Fox battery storage system and you want to add more batteries. So what I've done, as you can see, I've shut down, isolated everything, switch the inverter off, and then obviously switch the batteries off. I've then given it 5 minutes just for any residual charge, just to sort of power down as per the recommendations and the guidance for adding batteries. And then now I'm ready to add on the 2 new batteries. I've already put one on, and now I'm just about to put the second one on. Notice that it's a version 2 connector A. On these ECS2900s there's connector A and connector B, and obviously a version 1 or version 2. You need to make sure that if you're adding batteries, you put connector A with connector A's in the stack and connector B's, and yeah, you get the idea. The other thing you must do is what I've done last night and this morning is make sure I logged onto the app for the customer and made sure that the batteries are charged up to 50%, because the batteries come roughly 49-50% charged. So when you add them on, you need to make sure there's no cell imbalance and do exactly that. The other thing I need to do is just check the voltage. So the rest voltage is the same as the existing ones. Again, it's just a nice quick way of just saying, yeah, the voltage is fine, everything's good, happy days. I've also ensured, because this one has also got the UPS EPS output, I've ensured that basically is switched off and disconnected, so the customer has an EPS system. So what I also do as well for Fox customers, if they want it, is for power and stuff. When there's a power cut, it's a UPS uninterrupted power supply, and everything switches over very, very quickly. Okay, so there's an earth rod with a surge protected system out there, and an additional socket there for power cuts. So yeah, that's now done. I'm now going to add on the battery, and then I'm going to do the rotary dip switches on the other side, which I'll show you in a sec. Here we go. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 slaves and 1 master with a 2900 system. So now that is all up and ready and running. It will be. All I need to do now is come over to this bit. It says, and you see the dip switches there. Originally it was on 2. I've now added an additional 2 batteries, so now I need to put that to number 4. That basically tells the BMS and the system basically how many batteries that there are. So I'm going to do that. Just hang on a sec. So that's now done. I don't know if you can see that. So now I've moved the rotary switches. Oh, come on, focus. George is filming on a smartphone. So there we go. So that's the switch. That's now done. So now the power goes back on. I'll give that a sec. Inverter's now starting up. This is now power NA. So I'm now going to put the main breaker back on, power it up, wait for the lighting sequence, and you see the 2 new batteries, lights are on. We'll just give it a sec, just doing its checks. There we go. So now the contactors on the system's now kicked in. There's no issues, and the state of charge is 50%. Okay. Now I'm going to give it a couple of minutes just to settle down, and then I'm going to turn it back on and start the system up again. So everything seems to be in order, but before I start, what I'm going to do is go down to About. I'm going to go to battery version, because again, some batteries will have a slightly different firmware than others, so we're going to check that and see whether it needs upgrading. So slave 1, 109, slave 2, there we go. So already we've got different slaves, okay, and different firmware versions. So what I'm going to do is get this up and running, and I'm going to contact Fox, get them to do a firmware update on the batteries, get them all on the same firmware, so we have a nice smooth operation. So yeah, I'll get that done. But first things first, we're going to go down to settings, and left it on the default. We're going to start, and we're going to turn the system back on. There we go. So now it's waiting, and we're just going to see what it does. So now it's just about to start up, just doing its check-in. Just give it a sec. The little clicks, which I always love. And then once it's done that, it should go to normal. Lovely, there we go. And now the DCs are starting to ramp up, which is fine. It's still at 50%, which is good. Now what I've got to do is go back onto the app, remove the maximum state of charge to 50%, basically so everything can carry on. Like I say, putting it on with existing batteries with a higher or lower percentage, it's just not good practice. So again, it's all about getting that balance before you turn everything back on. So yeah, if you like these systems and you're interested, just give us a shout. And I'll say this is really what we fit the most, because it's just a damn good system and it does what it's supposed to do. So yeah, let me know what you think. One thing I did forget to say is obviously 2 new batteries, so the serial numbers, which I'm not going to show, but obviously the serial numbers are there. What I will do now is get those registered with the customer's details with Fox, so they can get their 10-year warranty. So again, it's just extending it from 5 years to 10 years. And again, as an installer, as a Fox approved installer, that's what we do. So again, it's basically a seamless experience for the customer. We just supply it, we get it in, get it all working, and then move on, and happy customers.